Hey, good morning. Welcome to Korean Natural Farming Office Hours with me, Dr. Drake, for March 10th, 2024. Welcome. Office hours, I get an hour of my time, sponsored by the Pure KNF Foundation to do, ask any questions you may need. About Master Cho, natural farming, those types of things. Anything you want to ask. And then if we got a bunch of time left over and there's not a whole bunch of questions, this year, 2024, we're getting into Madaj, also known as Jadam and or Young Song's, no attribution to his father, natural farming, and going over this and finding out how this is also a huge part of Korean natural farming because they're both from Korea. Master Cho's farming and his sons, and this whole kind of, what do you call, I want to say like diaspora of farming that comes from Rudolf Steiner all the way to Masanobu Fukuoka, all the way to, Young Song, to Master Cho, to you, and your definition of how you do Korean natural farming and all that. So welcome, tune in, drop in. We got an hour of goodness coming at you. And we got some good people in the house. But before we get to that, let's start with a bit of higher wisdom. And let's see, phone's already giving me notifications. Let's see, what is today? Today is the Wanderer. And this says, we are all wanderers in the unknown. Those who travel besides the sage are protected from harm. A person who travels in a strange land is wise to display an attitude free of arrogance and belligerence. Otherwise, they are liable to meet with trouble and find themselves unable to survive it. With this hexagram, the I Ching reminds us that we are all strangers in a strange land, wanderers in a vast and unknowable universe, obliged to act accordingly. Think of how you would proceed traveling alone in an unfamiliar country. You would be cautious, reserved, taking great care not to fall in with the wrong people or enter dangerous places. You would be tolerant of others and generous towards them if a dispute arose. You would be inclined to settle disagreements quickly and keep them from getting out of hand. You would rely on your attentiveness, your modest attitude, and your gentle manner to keep out of harm's way. The hexagram Lu comes to remind you that it is wise to travel through your entire life in this fashion. Seek now to stay in quiet harmony with the higher power and embody caution and modesty and generosity in your actions. Do not drag out disagreements with others. Conflict is a prison that grows more dangerous every minute you are in it. Do not depart from the path of humility and correct conduct. In doing so, you lose the protection of the deity and risk misfortune. By continually seeking to serve the innocent, the good, you stay in step with the sage and never wander the world alone. And I can tell you, this one, man, one time I didn't heed this and it gave me a whole heap of trouble. So, not sure what it means today, but we will wander together through this vast universe together with the sage and Master Cho and all those higher powers that come into our lives and give us better guidance. I feel like there we go. I feel like I was having to lean over, but now get this a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully sound's coming through good. It's good to see Cecily in the house. We got a member, Pure KNF Foundation member. Let's pull that up, pureknf.org. The foundation, Pure KNF Foundation, we are having a meeting, having a monthly, our first monthly meeting coming up March 13th. So that's this Wednesday at 3 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time, which, yes, we do not believe in daylight savings here, so adjust yourself accordingly. Don't fall back or whatever you were, or spring forward or whatever you were tempted to do. We do not believe in that. So just join in at the regular time. It's going to be 3 p.m. So unlike the office hours here, 9 a.m., we're going to be doing it 3 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. We got Cecily in the house. Goofman, also a member. Stone Mason, I think you are. Pretty sure. Because I don't really know your real name. I just know your screen name, so it's all good. But it's good to have good members in the house. Yeah, good to see the good family gathering here. Good to see Mark Reuter here. But yeah, Pure KNF Foundation having our monthly meeting. And so it's going to be a slightly different format than, the office hours. Office hours here is mostly, me talking to you through the YouTube, and doesn't enable very much of members to talk with each other and or interaction back besides the chat. So we're going to use Zoom for the monthly meeting. And this is just our first one, so we're going to try and get things off the ground and do it okay. Hopefully, it's mostly a test of our tech and everything. We do have a great speaker coming to be, I'm gonna interview, it's Tomer Zexer. I believe I'm saying his last name right. We'll double check with him. But Tomer coming in, I believe he's still in San Diego, and he's going to be our guest speaker at the monthly meeting. And so this is exclusive for members only. I'm not going to release this to YouTube because we want to have, members only content. We probably will put out a few highlights onto YouTube just to create teasers and trailers so that people, we got to kind of, do the formula, right? Bring people in, get more people excited about it. But looking forward to that coming up. And then, also, if you're a member and you haven't filled out the membership feedback, please do so. That poll that we sent out, because then we can tailor what we're doing to you and make our membership for the Pure KNF Foundation that much better. And really looking forward to that. And so far, well, I'll get into that later with the members of what those things are and our poll results and all that. Because I don't want to give away all the goods to the people that are not necessarily members, but super chats here are appreciated and keeping me going. But members directly support the office hours, KNF support, the mission that we exist to restore life through microbial awareness, education, and action, and help our 501c3 educational nonprofit, Pure KNF, do better work for the world. Yeah. So, it's good to see. Maybe I think a few people aren't here because they don't know about the daylight savings thing. We don't believe in that. Just don't set your clock back. Just boycott it. No need for daylight savings this year. I don't know whether to set it forward or back. Maybe just set it forward and then never change it again. But we'll see. Okay. So what's up, Big Wes? Yo, in the house from Canada. The Farmer Love getting together. So any questions? We got Cecily doing seawater at 1 to 30. I drink this all the time and it made my tea with it. Awesome. Getting all the nutrients from the ocean. Why pay for sea salt when you can just go to the ocean and get it free back? So before we get into some of the majab, if you got some questions, throw them in. Question after the tour settled in. Yeah, ask some questions. I got time for that. So anyway, update on what I've been up to this past week. I know last week I was talking about, going down to the river. So I did, and I went pro. Went pro? Is that what you call it when you get a GoPro? Did you went pro? I went pro, but I got paid a little bit for going down to the river, so I decided why not spend some of that money. Money always burns a hole in my pocket. I tend to be one of those people that immediately takes money and spends it on assets and things that I think are going to benefit my life, not just luxuries. And I don't really splurge on things like I never go on vacation. I just I go in service to places. So if you want me to visit you, we can go and build a natural farming workshop around you. But I went pro here, and let's just show you a little bit of footage from going pro. Is that what you call it? I don't know. I'm new to this. Let's see. I gotta pull up my networking. It's gonna take a minute to boot this. Oh no, it's already booted. It's already loaded. Look at this. So we'll pull up this. But a little bit of a preview here. Let's see. Transition that over and then take this and make that big.
Two of them out. You did it on TV. It was pretty wild.
And then
the vet had this.
We'll see. We'll mute the volume here a little bit because it's me and my dad just talking. Sorry, but look. If you look at the ground, you see how muddy it is. It's just been raining nonstop here. It really hasn't stopped. But my little pooch there. This is heading into the pig pen, and I'm learning about the Went Pro, this Went Pro here, that I had it too far tilted forward. I thought it would be cool because I helmet cam mounted it, but you don't really get, it's nice because you can see what I'm doing, but it's not nice because, so here, climbing, look at my dogs. We taught them how to climb over the fence. I put these pallets up. This is a perimeter fence, keeps the pigs out here. Let me make my cursor a little bit there. It still doesn't do it on a video preview, but the dogs are learning how to climb this pallet fence. And then this dog here, this brand new dog that we got, is she going to do it? She's kind of laggy, but she goes over. And this dog learned how to climb. This Callie dog here. And she killed a pig all by herself yesterday, crushed its skull. But look at that. Such a smart dog, learning how to climb over the pallets. Come on, Callie dog. You can do it. Come on, Callie dog. Oh, what a good Callie dog. Yeah. What a good pooch. But this is us going down to the river. So, this muddy trail going down there. Can I make it go faster? No, I can't. I could if I did it in a different way. But going down to the river, it is quite an adventure getting down there. And my dad's birthday a couple days ago, he's now 71. So cruising down to the river, down this muddy-ass trail with a 71-year-old dude. Amazing. Is it because he natural farms? Sure. We'll just blame it on the natural farming that he does. That's why he's so active and able to do this. But, man, it's been raining on us. And we go down, you basically got a hasty rappel down this cliff here. It's 200-foot cliff. It's actually, yeah, certain parts it's like 200 feet. Certain places it's about 100 feet. Because I have a 100-foot line, and the 100-foot line basically ends up at the bottom. And then you're going down. Yep. Going down. Yeah, but man, getting down to the river, going down the cliff, getting down to the bottom, and then this is why I needed to angle it up more, because I thought I would get good perspective of the river and everything, and you can kind of see it there, but not really. Need to angle the Went Pro up a little bit, because you can see me really well, and you can see me stumbling on this stuff, but you can't really see how big the river was, which it wasn't as big this day as it was the next day. So, or no, this day it was pretty big. Yeah, well, it got bigger overnight, I can tell you that much. But installing pipe in the river to get more sustainable hydroelectricity. Let's see here. Going through the jungle, figuring things out, getting to the right spot. Let's see. I recorded the whole thing. I know it's bad, but installing this piece to go over the waterfall. And then let's see. At a certain point, it was so wet and so rainy that I was like, screw it, man. I just got to get in the river. And so tied off for safety, You know, you can't really see it there. Maybe you can see how big the river is, but it's big. It's flowing fast. And getting in there, talking story, figuring out a plan, tying some ropes. You know, I always recommend that you learn some knots. So here, this is going to be a round turn, 2 half hitches, most likely. It's one of my favorite knots, but you go around twice. That's your round turn. And then just 2 simple half hitches. So a half hitch. I'm going to rip that plan off. Half hitch. And then a second half hitch. But yeah, there you go. Round turn, 2 half hitches. Then you can cinch it down, get it tight. If you don't know how to tie that, that is one of the best knots. You can use that for pretty much anything you need to secure anything. That's a round turn, 2 half hitches tied there. You can pull on it, and it won't get that laggy on you. And then, let's see, going out to the river. I tied another knot on there? Ooh, this is a timber hitch. So if you don't know how to tie a timber hitch, this is a timber hitch. Also super good tying things on. So you go around, make a half hitch, and then come back around the other side and just twist it a bunch around your other side. Not the side you made the half hitch on, but the other side, the other part of your loop. And I think I made 4 or 5. I don't know, you can't see the branches in the way. And then you just cinch it down like that. And that's a timber hitch. Super easy to undo. You can put tons of weight on that thing and really good for dragging round cylindrical objects. You can even put another hitch into it. But there you go, timber hitch. Round turn, 2 half hitches. There you go, round turn, 2 half hitches. What am I doing there? I'm undoing my... Oh, no, so that was round turn, 2 half hitches with a quick release, and that was my safety line I tied the day before. See how easy that came out? So easy. This was the line that was securing it. Now we're ready to go into the river. So anyway, you got to learn how to tie some knots. If you're a good farmer, you definitely need to learn how to do that. So, but anyway, this is what I've been up to last couple days. And then we'll show you one more video. This one, unfortunately, the GoPro fell forward on my hat. But I was trying... Oh, no, this is the end of it. We'll watch this one here. Mute this one up. But this one, unfortunately, I knocked the GoPro forward. I thought I had it set. I did get a wider angle on it, but then I knocked it forward. And look at all that grease on my pants. I just finished greasing the tractor, changing the oil on the tractor. But it's not raining, so I was stoked to go down there. But I knocked the GoPro forward, so it mostly filmed my head. But I went down a different trail this time, coming down to a different part. And I don't know if you can see how... Oh, look how boiling the river is. And I tried to get it good. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to make some cinematic footage, and I'm going to look up. But you just see how much it's boiling. Basically, this is at the bottom of a 30-foot waterfall. And I don't think you can see it because I knocked the GoPro forward on me before I even turned it on. I didn't secure the thing tight enough. And oh, there. Oh, shoot. No, I was trying to pause it, but you can sort of see this is a 30-foot waterfall. And it's just boiling into this. And it doesn't look that big on the GoPro. I don't know why. But anyway, I was afraid that this pipe was going to wash away. So, but it didn't. And this, just massive. We can turn on the volume a little bit. Just a massive thing getting down there below the waterfall. Pooch is hanging out with me, doing good things, but just boiling. If you went swimming in here, you'd be gone. But it's nice to swim in here when it's not big. So if you ever do come out to the KNF farm, man, you can go do some of these good things. So anyway, I don't want to waste too much time on this. I already not wasted time. It's time well spent. I think you guys, hopefully you enjoy this. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you're, not into this or whatever. But you got to learn all kinds of skills. You can't just be a farmer. You got to be more than a farmer. You got to be a mountain climber, a knot tire. Look at that nice... I learned this good rope technique from Cub. How to keep your rope from getting bound up. It's really good. I learned a lot working with Cub. It's good fun. So we'll take this. And anyway, but I noticed there's a few questions, so let's get to some questions. That's just me tying this thing off. I wish the GoPro didn't go forward so much, because this is me walking down the entire river. I thought it'd be super panoramic and nice. Oh, I did find some nice orchids. Did the GoPro film them? No, I didn't even get the orchids. Oh, there they are. There they are. Look at these nice orchids. Just wild orchids in the jungle. Yeah, look at that. It would have been better had the thing been tipped up. I didn't realize it tipped down so far. It's the hard part about the GoPro is you can't monitor it while it's on your head. You know, it's just like it is what it is and it is what it is. So, anyway, nice orchids. Cruising down. Anyway, enough of this. Enough of this. We will get back over to this and answer some questions because we got a few questions, which is great. So, Big Wes, what you got, man? What you got? I have a bucket of Gaia green alfalfa meal. Okay, ground up to dust. Sounds good so far. I'm into the Gaia green alfalfa meal. And want to hydrate it to make a fermented plant juice for my lawn. Okay, interesting. Triacontanol is in there, a root stimulant, and I want to use. So my question is, can I hydrate with beer, and should I add less alfalfa because of its density? So I figured a 1 quart mason jar worth of it is plenty more than I need. Yeah, but I would say a 1 quart mason jar. Yeah, I would actually go and just do a gallon if you can. I mean, it's like, I don't know how much alfalfa you have, but it's pretty easy to get alfalfa from a feed store. And I would probably do a gallon size. Just doing a quart is hard to do. 1 quart. Fermenting such a small size, it is possible, but it's just not as easy to do. The bigger batches you do, at least a half gallon to a gallon size, you're going to get better results. It's hard to do a quart. I mean, you can. You're better to go 2 quarts, 4 quarts, make a gallon. It's just a little bit easier to do. And so, yeah, you can. So if you took the ground up alfalfa, you put it in basically to half your container, fill it up half, and then you fill it with beer just to cover it half. You're basically, let me pull up the book here. You're basically following the this hydration recipe for the medicine. So if you are looking at the book, you're following this hydration recipe here. Hang on, let me switch this over. You're following this hydration recipe of where you're basically going to put your dry material and in here, and you're going to fill it up to half your jar. And again, this is like a gallon size. Go with a gallon. Trust me, go with a gallon. And then then you cover it with the beer. And basically what'll happen during alfalfa will puff up a heck of a lot. It's way more puffy than the herbs. And then once it puffs up, it may even fill up higher than this. It may puff up to be your whole jar here. But then add in your brown sugar, and you basically, so after 12 to 48 hours, I think it says that somewhere here. Rehydrate, 12 to 48 hours here. 12 to 48 hours, rehydrate your material and with beer, and then add brown sugar. So you're basically trying to get it up to that 1/3. So the herbs don't necessarily rehydrate as well as the alfalfa will. I know the alfalfa just expands like crazy because we use it all the time for our cow. We don't use beer for the cow. We just use water, but it's because we're just trying to we're not trying to ferment it after. We're just making it wet so the cow doesn't choke on the dry stuff. Then add the brown sugar in after that, and just continue with that fermentation process. So it'd be like this here after you've rehydrated it. Mix it in. You could even pour it back out and then mix in the sugar to 1/3 by weight. So whatever the beer plus your alfalfa rehydrated, you can mix in 1/3 of that weight with brown sugar, and you'd be great with alfalfa. It's really going to perform well for you. And then after that, then the stuff that comes out of there, you will be able to collect and pour off as the sugar makes that ferment with the beer and osmotically draws out the material from inside, then you'll get a juice. And I think it'll work well. If you could get fresh alfalfa, even better, but getting the dry alfalfa and following those kind of two recipes here. So you're going down to the medicine, the rehydration step here. And then once you've rehydrated it, you're coming back up here to the food recipe and finishing up that, letting it ferment, packing it 2/3 full after you mix it with the brown sugar. Mix the brown sugar, then pack it in here 2/3 full, and then pour it off. So what's up, Marcus? Yeah, thanks for the time and knowledge. Yeah, trying to keep it going, keep the knowledge flowing, keep everything growing, keep everyone stoked on things. Share a little bit of what I'm doing too. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like if I don't talk about what I'm doing, it's just like we're just going to be sitting here staring at each other, which is cool too, right? We'll just get that. We'll like just osmotically send natural farming information through the mycelial internet. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoy those things where I share what I'm doing too, even though they're kind of off topic. But so, this is what it takes to run a real farm. When you do a real farm, you're not just farming, you're not just fermenting, you're not just doing these, juices or spraying. It's like most of the time you're just dealing with disaster after disaster. And in the small little bits of time you have, and then between those, you then can put in more infrastructure to try and grow and build and be better. Until then, you get regulated out of business, and then they crush you underfoot because people just want food and they don't understand. They make all these regulations, and it's just like, oh. So if you're a real farmer, you probably know, thumbs up for that one. It's going to AI thumbs up us. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's even speech bubbles. The farm life. And then you got to, do other things like try and film it so you can monetize it and all kinds of things. Unless you're a super big farmer, and then you probably just rely on ag subsidies from the government, right? Yeah, thumbs up for that one. So you're taking, who knows, inflation money. Anyway, don't get me going on that. Let's switch gears back to this. Goofman is saying he did the rehydration process with dried seaweed, and it came out really good. And yeah, so he's saying Wes got the right idea. It's awesome to have validation from Goofman. He's awesome. Super well-versed natural farmer. Has done all this for years. Really well experienced. It's great to share. Thank you, Goof. So awesome. Wes is also saying he's been given his lawn fish hydrolysate, Jadam chicken poo in a 5-gallon bucket with leaf mold and aged urea, the stink-free stuff I made. Madaj is funny. I like the Madaj joke. Yeah, Madaj, it's open source, so you can call it whatever you want, right? Rename it. I think it's Creative Commons share alike. I don't know. Anyway, you should always, source it back to... But he didn't source it back, so if he stole it, then his licensing can't be the same, because I showed you the origins. If you didn't go with the origins, go back to the old office hours here. So from pureknf.org, go down to here, visit KNF support here. It'll open in a new tab for you, and go check out the office hours here, and then some of the old office hours here. There's no table of contents yet. There probably is table of contents. I just need to upload them. But we started back with Jadam Madaj coming back, here, January 7th, I think, this episode. Let's just watch it a little bit and see. I'm gonna mute that because I hear myself umming. Oh yeah, here. So this episode here, January 7th, is the source of the Madaj Jadam, I think. This coming back. Does it? Oh, this book did mention his father a little bit. But I think we went in this book and went all the way through where we saw that the source of it actually came from this recipe book, the Green Grass Liquid Fertilizer. And so if there's no attribution, then that means we don't have to attribute it. It must be Creative Commons no attribution license. I'm trying to figure out the licensing by just reverse engineering the attitudes. But you'll see that it came from, all one and all the same there. And, that was cool. So we'll pause that here for a minute. And, oh yeah, wait, how the heck? Oh yeah, I got distracted. I was on Big Wes's talking about the chicken poo and all the 5-gallon bucket. That sounds amazing. It sounds like you, one thing I would say, Wes, on that, just when you're putting the lawn fish hydrolysate, the jadam chicken poo, and leaf mold and aged urea, the one thing I would be careful of is over nitrogening your lawn. It's great. You can do that. But it sounds like all those inputs are heavy nitrogen, which is going to make it nice and green up and grow really well. However, when you over nitrogen, you can make things obese, meaning like obesity is not healthy, right? As much as some cultures value, super heavy people, really the sweet spot is really nice fit, like warrior type things. And so if you push it too obese, you can run into leaf suckers and then problems. So it's great to use those things to push it, to green it up, but then also make sure you're coming in with enough structure and foods and other problems, because if you just push it obese, you're going to get leaf suckers. You're going to make your lawn more susceptible to other diseases. So do be careful pushing it too far with too much of the nitrogen. I know people love to see like a nice green yard, but also, coming in with foods, the medicine, the cleanser, the structure, the maintenance solution as well will provide that resilience underneath and not push it too far towards obesity, green, just overgrowth. And a lot of times, like you'll read Master Cho's original books, and he'll talk about overgrowth. And overgrowth, is when you just had too much leaf and too much green. Which yards are a little bit different. They do like that nitrogen. They are more bacterial oriented, so that quick nitrogen cycling is good for them. I think I'm talking fast. That quick nitrogen cycling is good for them, but you do want to make sure you keep it balanced. So if you're ending up getting a whole bunch of pest problems or leaf suckers or, sickness in the lawn, it's probably because you might be going too nitrogenous. So I'm just throwing that out there now. You're probably not seeing that yet, but continued application of just fish hydrolysate, chicken poo, and the urea, all those are super nitrogen, and you will cause overgrowth with continued applications of these. So just be careful a little bit on that. Because we can only see what's happening above, right? We without digging down into the lawn, which your customers probably aren't going to be too stoked with that. But if you can only see what's happening above, it looks like there's this great growth above. But if you're overfeeding nitrogen, then the roots say to themselves, why do I have to produce as much nitrogen? They'll shut off, and then your roots won't grow. And then you'll just have this great nitrogen on top, but then the roots will die, and then you'll cause sickness later on. And so really you got to go for what you can't see, and that's the roots. Even in a lawn, you want deep-rooted grasses coming down and really getting in, so that way you have to water less, right? If they have nice big root system really reaching down, really going, and you put the microbe inoculants on there, then the roots are wanting to reach down, go into the soil. They're not just being fed nitrogenous stuff from the top. They have to reach out and get all this. That's going to lead to, less watering, more robust lawn. It's going to be, green during the dry periods. It's going to be, doing better through winter, everything. So do be careful of over nitrogening the top. And what I recommend is one thing, you can just spray that stuff out there, but also take those same fish hydrolysate, the jadam chicken poo, and the urea, and soak that in biochar, really finely shredded biochar, and then sprinkle that out on the yard. And that will keep your yard even better for storing moisture, staying green over the long run. Really, that extra biochar on a lawn it might make it a little black at first, and your customers, what the hell's black? But just water it in, and then that'll get in there and really give your lawn that robustness that it needs. So anyway, just a little bit of comment feedback on what you're doing. I like it. It's good, but you may be going slightly too short term of results there. The longer term results is to get the roots going out and making sure you're giving balanced nutrition, not just straight nitrogen and having it bing for us, but having it boom under the ground. That's what natural farming is really about here. So, and then here, I think this is, what are some rare edible plants that are nutritious, grows in abundance that you suggest? Making plant juice out of these things. Whatever weeds are around you, make a plant juice out of whatever, pick one weed around you that grows really robust and make a plant juice from that. Weeds are always super nutritious, like the weeds, the things that pop up, like there are always tons of things in there. But if you're short for something and you want to grow something that is 100% abundant, go with like a comfrey. I mean, that's always, the regulars in here could be like, yeah, comfrey, it's always the thing. And Big West is a new company. I have one customer, so no shame in asking noob cues. No, and as you get your customers, you will, man, I swear to you. So let me just pull this up. In search of balance. So here, so in search of balance here, this movie here, this is a documentary. Let's see, it's on IMDb. I was featured in this movie, and here you go. But this guy, Ken Lee here, his dad was, how come I'm not mentioned as a star? Come on. Because these guys are more famous than me. Who's Jamie Boyd? Never heard of them. They're probably in the movie. But Ken Lee's dad was living in Maui, and he's a producer. In his lawn, they had a drought happening, and so they had a water restriction. And Ken Lee's dad, I don't know what to call him, Ken Lee Sr., comes to the place and he's like, why is my lawn green? Why has my guys been watering? Oh, there's Connor. Why have they been watering? And they're like, no, we haven't been watering. We've been just doing natural farming. And so he thought that his lawn had been watered. Everyone else's lawn is brown. His was green. And it's because they were doing natural farming. And then he decided to come and make a whole movie on this with Adam Flagger. Did I make the preview? I don't know. Probably not. It's, did I? I don't know. We'll see. Other stars. Let's see. Other stars. I gotta add my profile. Oh, Han Q Cho made the list. John Caverly. Oh, it's alphabetical. I bet I'm way down at the bottom. Oh yeah, Drake. There I am. As self. I gotta add a profile picture to this thing. Oh, that's his name. Jim Lee. Right there. Jim Lee. Let's see Jim Lee. What else has he done? Nothing. Oh, In Search of Balance. Still I Strive. In Search of Balance. Soul of the Tatai River. What else? Yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, anyway, before we go off on that rabbit hole. But anyway, the lawn care, I think there's huge potential in KNF lawn care for sure. And so understanding what's going to make long-term lawn care, not just short-term bang and booming, but long-term. Yeah, so Cecily's like in the mud, so much mud. It's so slick where I'm at. It's not, we're in 12 to 15 feet of ash that fell about 1 million years ago and has been completely turned into this like red, nutrient-less stuff, subsoil that we have. So drop leaves for 30 years. Yeah, leaves are gonna help. Love seeing mud. We're coming to the end of a hot, dry summer, except where we water Have about 4 acres of alley planted lemon scented gums that have dropped leaves for 30 years. The eucalyptus, they call them gums in Australia, but I call them eucalyptus. Yeah, and the pipe is HDPE, 6-inch HDPE. Yep. Had to weld it all together and then drag it down there in huge 100-foot sections with flanges on it. Cecily tops her seed beds with dry seaweed mulch. Awesome. Lovely sunshade. Cool. And going to be nutrients as it starts to break down and ferment. So let's focus back here. A few more questions and then we'll get into some jab. Stay till the end. Classic YouTube thing to say. Hey guys, how do you feel about crop rotation? I have a wooden trellis set up, so I have been doing tomatoes in the same spot for the last few years. I'm wondering if I should move them. So the answer is not, you don't necessarily have to. So one of the things about natural farming that's super nice is that it deals with what they call monocrop sickness. So let me just fire this up right quick, right fast. I'm going to go to my channel here, and then I'll switch back so you can see what I'm doing here. But I'm going to pull up my channel here, and then I'm going to go scroll down here, down, to demo farms in Korea. And then I'm going to click on, I think, this one here, the 2008 one. We'll see. We'll mute this here. And no, this one does not have the tomatoes. So we'll go back. Why does it still play? So we're going to try natural farming demo farms in Korea. Where did it go? Why? Oh, I should have just opened a new tab. Okay, example farms. Okay, so now we're going to go to this one here and try this one. So this playlist, the 2015 one. We'll see here. Did we go to a strawberry sesame? No. Did we? I know I went to a tomato farm. Maybe it didn't make it on here. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll just go for monoculture disorder. We'll go to this guy. Okay. This guy at his strawberry farm here, he's been farming strawberries. Go to theater mode. He's been farming strawberries in the same greenhouse for over since I was there. I was there in 2008. Now I'm there in 2015. This was 8 years ago. I'm sure he's still farming strawberries in these. He doesn't get monoculture disorder because each time he'll go through, he'll put down new IMOs, which is bringing in different biology in there. And then if you look, some of these things up here, this is irrigation coming down, but he also runs fertigation lines in here, and he's fertigating with different plant juices from different plants. So he's not just giving it strawberries, he's also probably giving it persimmons, he's probably giving it, I don't know, other fruits. And so when you put those exudates out there, the microbiology reacts to the biology, and you encourage and you avoid monoculture sickness disorder because you're adding different diverse microbes, your IMO4. Why did thumbs up? That's how I count number one. It's like they don't know Asians count this way first. I'm not thumbs upping. Come on. But he's adding so you avoid monoculture. So do you have to move your tomatoes from one place to another? Not if you're applying diverse forest fungal foundation IMO, and not if you're applying the maintenance solution, which includes food, medicine, cleanser, and structure on a regular basis. And then you can get into the other Korean natural farming things out there. But you just go through and you do this and you avoid monoculture disorder. So do you have to move your tomatoes? I would say no. You just have to make sure that you're putting the biology there each time, and that you are also adding, the right plants, so that the biology thinks it's like, oh, there's all this other diversity above me, and it's not. So just as an example here, this guy, same greenhouse, same thing, continually cropping strawberries, and he's not having to move them. He's not having to run different crops in here, and he's getting amazing, beautiful strawberries. So let's see if we can, I don't think it was strawberry season right then, but I do know that we did eat these strawberries in this one here, in this poultry one. And then he came to us pretty much, the guy that was doing the strawberries. Man, this is going to be challenging to find, but he came and visited us while we were there. Maybe it was like kind of towards the end of the thing. I don't know. Let's see. Is there a thing? Oh, this looks like we didn't go back to the Guksung place. I'm trying to find this live. Show you some of his strawberries, but let's see. No. This looks like we were in Muju, so no. So while we were in Guksung, let's try this last day and see. Was it there? No. Wasn't this last day? Although we were in the Guksung. It was when we were in this training center. No, then we went to visit the mayor. Maybe it was this. Did I already go to this one? No. Wasn't this one. We're still in Muju. No. Anyway, I can't show you strawberries live. It's too challenging. I don't have a good enough index to do that, but amazing strawberries. Size of your fist, beautiful, and no rotation. So anyway, long answer short is no, you don't have to move it. You do have to do good natural farming. You do have to put good at biology, and you should be fine. So Big Wes on his lawn care is also adding liquid cal acetate. So he's putting calcium. He needs to make calphos, and the big one is OHN. For lawn care, I'm not sure, OHN, it's going to be good. You'll probably drink most of it yourself. But because the lawn care is so bacterially oriented, OHN may not be as good. But if you're experiencing disease, OHN is definitely going to be your friend to get it back to a sense of normalcy. Also trying to establish new seeding. I'll get better this year. You're right, sir. I've been watching your classroom series, the whole KNF courses. I will rewatch this episode now several times. So if you're wondering, let's see, go back. So if you're new, I don't know if you're new, but if you're new, I would highly recommend you go to the channel, click the channel down below, like, subscribe, share, whatever. This is standard YouTube crap you got to say. But down below, the office hours are all here, which is great. A lot of them are there, at least. They got to do that after this. But try these complete online natural learning courses. This one right here, Pure KNF certification course. Ignore the stuff I say about Cho Global Natural Farming because it turned out to be a super corrupt entity. But it's all good. And then the introduction to natural farming. And then you can also learn directly from Master Cho and Elaine Ingham and all of these Young Song Cho is even here. Well, which, man, we're going through time. Am I going to get to Jadam? I think my dad. We'll see. So anyway, thanks for the questions. Thanks for this. Maybe I spent too long talking about the river. We'll see. So hopefully you're enjoying. Cecily's favorite plant food is pig face. Let us look up pig face plant and see what she's talking about here. This one. Caprobrotus. Yo, Caprobrotus. This looks like an ice plant sort of thing. Ice plant. It's also known as ice plant. Sour fig, Hotten fig, clawberry, ground creeping. So this is what she's making it out of. Looks awesome. And it looks like it comes from fruit edible. So this is awesome. I would say, heck yeah, this is a great plant to ferment. Look how succulent it is. You're going to get all this juice coming out of there, especially in a hot, dry desert, sandy area. This one looks great. So I'm sure she does this because it's all around her. I mean, look at this. Look at it all in here in this marsh reserve. I mean, you could just go in there and like 5 minutes have all like a 5-gallon bucket of this stuff, and just ferment the crap out of it, or ferment the good stuff and leave the crap in. Correction. And let's just read about this. The leaf juice can be used as a mild astringent applied to the skin. It is a popular emergency treatment for jellyfish and similar stings. When mixed with water, it can be used to treat diarrhea and stomach cramps. You never know if your plants have diarrhea or stomach cramps, so it can be used as a gargle for sore throats, laryngitis, and mild bacterial infections of the mouth. It can be used externally, much like aloe vera, to treat wounds, mosquito bites, sunburns, and skin conditions. It was a remedy for tuberculosis mixed with honey and olive oil. The fruit has been used as a laxative. So, sounds to me like this is super healing, probably very high in vitamin E, probably very soothing and healing for all your plants. So, great choice on the pig face there. I also caught ice plant, but yeah, great choice. Is this, and hopefully this is the one you're talking about, but anyway, yeah, great choice on that. That's a great fermented plant juice. Yeah, grows on the beaches. Awesome. And if it grows on the beach, that means it's salt tolerant, which means it's a super hardcore plant. And Lucas Nan saw In Search of Balance. If you haven't seen In Search of Balance, look it up. Okay. Yeah. So Big West went crazy with biochar. One of the first things he learned, and he grew stuff you can't see on YouTube. Started to care about my lawn a couple of years ago. So finding KNF is an inevitably good biochar charging. Yes. Big West is on the great thing, and yeah, it sounds like you all are on good paths here, moving forward. So, and Cecily ferments in 44-gallon drums. That's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, look at this. You can just go down to the beach, make a good harvest. It'll probably grow back really well. Don't over harvest, and make a 44-gallon drum. I mean, Cecily is over 80 years old and she's making 44-gallon drums. So come on, Big West, scale up, man, scale up. That's all I'm saying. You could be selling this to your other people who are doing yard care. You could open multiple avenues of income. Not only are you treating yards, but you treat other people's, and you say, hey man, check out that yard. You want to know the secret? This is what I use. And, start changing all of Canada. Okay. But before we get too far into the thing, and I promised this would come, we probably got more, scale up Big Wes. Yeah. Let's get into Majaj, because last time it was actually pretty cool. There were some questions on moths and leaf thrips and those things. So let's get into and I busted out the kit and I got all dirty because that kit, I need to clean it off. It has mud all over the bottom of it. And I still haven't swept the floor, to be honest with you. The office needs a cleaning for sure. But it's mainly because I have so many cables under this desk. Oh man, it's such a cable nightmare. Anyone who's in IT would just shriek. They just, it's so nasty. But I gotta get to it. But we talked about the herbal smoker, man. Herbal smoker. I don't know. Is it gonna show it to you? Maybe it will. I don't know. It's zoomed in too heavy. But let's talk about, since I turned it on to the herbal smoker, let's talk about this one, because this is an interesting thing to do if you're growing in a greenhouse and you got pests. How much seawater goes into disgustingly cheap microbes? 1 to 30, man. 1 to 30. Dilute it 1 to 30. You're going to be at the perfect amount. Fish hydrolysates, there's $10 for 10 ounces. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Fish hydrolysate, man, just start making your own fish hydrolysate. There's no way it's $10 for 10 ounces, man. You should be able to make that and make a business, and yeah, you're going to crush it in Canada, or grow it, or, instead of violent words, let's pick good words. But let's read about this herbal smoker, man. Because Young Song talks about, you should actually talk to Robbie about the herbal smoker. So here it is, herbal smoker. So this is recipe number 14. I know I probably should have, we'll just cover the herbal smoker today because I was going to go back and cover the earlier things because he talks about them, but I need to go into further depth. So we'll just go with this herbal smoker. If you are growing in a greenhouse and you have pests, this is so I'll just kind of read it verbatim and make funny jokes as I go. So herbal smoker is particularly effective in controlling pests in short plants. The herb smoker, that's you, is particularly useful inside the greenhouse in winter because if you apply a water-based pesticide, the inside becomes too humid. You can avoid this problem with smokers. It is effective in controlling tiny pests like mites, silverleaf whitefly, greenhouse whitefly, leaf miner fly, etc. Smoke fills up the entire enclosed space, seeping into the tiniest holes. Okay, so this if you have an enclosed space, you can make this herbal smoker and you can load it up and you burn the herbs. I know it's blurry. Let me unblur that for you. Let me go up here, man, and turn off portrait mode. There we go. Now you can see Master Cho and everything behind me too. And you can see the book I'm holding up. That'll work a little bit better. So it says tobacco is commonly used, but many other plants are thought to be effective. So if you just smoke out your entire greenhouse with tobacco, you will do really well. Although I don't know about tobacco with tomatoes because tobacco mosaic virus. I don't know. I'm not sure if it travels in the smoke or you don't really want to bring tobacco into anything that is in the tobacco family because of the mosaic virus. But maybe if you're going to nuke it all with this stuff anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. If the plant material is too dry, it will not produce as much smoke. Make sure it is adequately wet before stuffing it in the smoker. Smoke the house after 7 p.m. on a cloudy day. Oh, of course, especially after 20 past 4. Smoke it up, man. Place 1 or 2 smokers per every 330 square meters of the greenhouse. So if your greenhouse is little less than an acre, 0.8 of an acre, put in 1 or 2. So if you have a bigger than an acre greenhouse, you're going to have 3 or 4 of these things. It says, shut the windows of the greenhouse, take out the beehives, and place the smoker on the floor. Light it and come out, which I think means exit the greenhouse. But you could come out too. Hey, guys. The smoke sinks down on cloudy days, and that is more effective on enshrouding, covering your plants. Next morning, open the windows, let the smoke out, and put the beehives back in. Of course, you have beehives in your greenhouse, right? Tobacco is illegal to grow in Western Australia. Man, Australia sounds so crazy the more I learn about it. Tobacco can leave a smell on the fruits, so do not use them near harvest. If you spray the disgustingly cheap microbes, the smell will go away quickly. So after you're done with this, come in with microbes, which is also a good idea just to clean everything up and make sure it's not residual there. Herb smoking method has enormous potential. Build on this method. I believe greenhouse farming can go completely chemical free with ease. Find and use plants other than tobacco. Plants like ginkgo, peppermint, clove, Korean mint, and Japanese pepper with a strong pesticidal effect or scent would be very useful. This is a very interesting and promising area that remains to be studied. So, go with your greenhouse, figure out what, and just use the smoke in the greenhouse. This is way easier than spraying. I mean, you just basically light a fire, close all the doors, and walk away, right? You're going to kill everything in there. Think of how many times, when I was doing hydroponic tomatoes and cucumbers and lettuce, and we had this huge 1 acre greenhouse, think how much easier it would have been kill all the whitefly by just lighting this stuff on fire overnight and letting these herbs just smoke the entire greenhouse out, come back in the morning, all that things are dead. I mean, it was because it was hydroponic and it was very unhealthy and all those other things, and we weren't doing Korean natural farming. And we didn't have any foundation for it, which is why we had so much whitefly in the first place. But imagine if I had done this and had this knowledge back then, because I remember just going in the greenhouse, 100-degree hot weather, and just walking through the tomatoes and just inhaling whiteflies. And it was just whitefly crazy so many times. But smoking out your greenhouse this way. And so what it means with the herbal smoker is basically he starts with this this can here. This is just like a, like a WD-40 can or whatever, like a tin can, and he takes a pointed hammer. Sorry to drop the ass in there. And then he basically just whacks that sucker a whole bunch. I can't see when I'm doing this. Then I'm too far from the mic. But he basically cracks a bunch of holes in that can. Just poke a whole bunch of holes in the can, make holes in the bottom of the can. Like you see all that dimples and dents. So he's just denting, like making holes in the can. You could use like a pick or whatever, just, and then he makes holes, and then he puts a wire hanger on it. So he makes a handle out of wire, and then he places a coal briquette in the can at the very bottom. So it's a coal briquette sitting at the very bottom, and then he lights that on fire, and then you put in the herbs into that thing that you just smashed all those holes in, and you spray it with water. So he's moistening it because he doesn't want the thing to just like burn out he wants it more to like smolder, right? And then as the coal burns on the bottom, smoke comes out of there, and then it's just smoking out very slowly. And the smoke can come out for over 2 hours. So he says just keeps, I think you probably put a lid on it. I don't know, maybe not. It depends. You'll figure it out. I mean, it's super simple. Just make a hole, like, a can with holes in it, and then put some charcoal at the bottom that's lit up, and then has it come up and do its thing, and does all that. And that's the herbal smoker, man, that you can do. So this is just a quick, easy, simple way to kill a whole bunch of different things by putting different plants in there and smoke them up. Yeah, a bee smoker. Use a bee smoker. That'd work pretty well. You just fill your whole greenhouse with these things. Don't light a fire. Make it so it's fire safe. Don't burn down Babylon, because then burn down Babylon. Don't do that, because we need Babylon still. So don't burn down your greenhouse. Be extremely careful using fire. Don't leave it unsupervised, even though he says come back in the morning. I don't think that's a good idea. I would always stay there and have a proper way to extinguish fires, such as fire suppression system of water, or a fire extinguisher, or don't be a dummy, man. .com. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that's useful for you. We got into some majab. We did a whole bunch of good things. She's going to try smoking her kale. Yeah, man. Tell me the results of smoking the kale. But lots of moths. Oh, you're not actually going to smoke the kale. You're going to smoke something else near the kale. Yeah, man. And do all that and do all those things. Okay. And then, I got one last thing. We're a bit over time here, but I'll just throw one last thing up here, and that is that Big West was mentioning the moon calendar. Oh my gosh, why did I do that? I want to go back to the home. But today, welcome to the second new moon of the new year, and we're now in the month of the ox, baby. It's my month. So things are going to be slow, boring, and very dutiful this month. But today is Hilo. It's an excellent day to plant all varieties of plants except for bananas. This Hawaiian new moon phase starts the lunar calendar sequence. So if you do, I got the Mahina app and you download it and you have it, For iPhone, you will get a little widget. And today, I just read the Hawaiian planting advice for March 10th. But the fishing advice is beach and reef fishing are good. Women hand fish, men with torch. Tide is low in the evening. The sea is rough during the day. Calm, warm night with little wind. Kapu of Ku in olden days continues through Kulua. So, that's your fishing advice. So if you're going to go out there, if you're a woman, hand fish. If you're a man, you better be torch fishing. And enjoy that low tide in the evening. But watch out because the sea's going to be rough during the day. So, little bit of Mahina moon for you. You can get it on the iOS store, Mahina, Hawaiian moon calendar. Support me, support office hours, do all the good things, enjoy all that. Again, I want to thank the Pure KNF Foundation here for supporting this show and all of it. And you, if you're a member, thank you. Really appreciate that. And see you this week on Wednesday if you can make our monthly meeting. Looking forward to know you. We got our Zoom link, should be sent to you, and then you should be able to get in there and do all that. We'll about 15 minutes before we'll be there. Zoom in, zoom around, working on things, making things better. Thanks to Master Cho here. I don't know where I'd be without him. Thanks to Young Song. Thanks for Madaj Jadam, Cho Global Natural Farming, this guy's edition of it, not the other one. And Pure KNF and all that. And hopefully we'll have a good week. I will see you. I'll be back next week, 9 a.m. again. No daylight savings. Don't be fooled. We don't do that here. And otherwise, long live the natural farmer. Super. I'm going to switch this over to this one. And love you. Enjoy. Bye. Thank you. See ya. I'm going to go real slow, I think. Real slow. Close curtain. Real slow. Ready?